Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the new addition to Pokemon Go, Tinkaton. And I'm going to have to say I had an absolute blast with this one here. This is going to be Mawile's cousin, basically. We are looking at a Fairy and Steel type, and with a pretty decent moveset. Had an absolute blast using this thing here. No complaints. We're going to be in the Spring Cup, so there is particular Pokemon that are going to be necessary. So this is not the open league. So that is something to consider. Apparently it is going to be ranked 5th. I do believe 5th for this cup here. As far as the IVs are concerned, obviously it's not going to be the ideal one, but I did hatch it, so we're just going to use it. The one that I picked here is going to land at a pretty decent IV. I do believe I think I just showed it. It was like 2,496 or something like that. So, something around those edges there. So pretty close to the maximum for Ultra League. I can actually not power it up for the last level and just kind of best buddy up just for the, fun of it. But with that said, we're going to be pairing it up with Whiscash as well as Galarian Weezing here. I know it's maybe a little unconventional using a double fairy, but we're going to go ahead and just roll with it here. Did encounter a whole crap load of Ferrothorns, which put a little bit of a damper into the situation. Now for the Tinkaton, you can run Bulldoze, which is going to be some pretty decent coverage there, I suppose, for some type of Pokemon for this particular league. But I am not going to be running that. This person did back out. Just to show you, I mean, exactly. It has nothing to do with, oh, you're so scared or something. No. When you're hard countered in the front, in the middle, there's really no point in continuing on for the most part. But with that said, we're looking at a shorter video, so I'm going to go ahead and get into the commentary here. So up against a Galarian Weezing, we do have to look out for Overheat, which obviously is going to take us out, but that was fairly quick, so we're going to go ahead and let that go, which is going to be a Brutal Swing, nothing to worry about at all. Was that Brutal Swing or Sludge? I missed it. Nonetheless, bringing in the Whiscash, and there is the Ferrothorn, like I described. Of course, if I was to take the Whiscash off my team, I probably would not encounter a single one of these Ferrothorns. I guarantee you that. It's putting it in there because of the typings. That's just the way the algorithm works, but that's okay. We'll just deal with it, right? Shadow Whiscash. Pretty fun Pokemon. Now, I do have, was it Aquatail on there or something? It's a water charge move. Later on, I'm going to be switching it to Blizzard because that's just going to suit me a little bit better in most situations, right? That's not going to be, I think there's just going to be a couple of battles. Anyways, we do have a Galarian Weezing versus Galarian Weezing swapping into Tinkaton here, shielding up the Sludge, which is just I don't know. Personally, I think it's just a horrible move. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and go for a play rough onto the Ferrothorn here, and we have no more shield. So let's see what's gonna happen. Power Whip's of course gonna take us out. Galarian Weezing able to get to the Brutal Swing. So that, of course, as you can see here, that's the moves that we're going to be running: Brutal Swing and then Overheat. Moving into the next one here, we will be leading with Tinkaton the entire time. Met with Among Us, right? Let's get it. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Heavy Slam here, doing neutral damage as the Fairy is just going to be not very effective because of the poison type. We'll go ahead and let this go. It's going to just be a Grass Knot. Swapping into Jellicent kind of leave me a little bit vulnerable here. I could have swapped out the Galarian Weezing for something else, but we're just going to go ahead and stick with it. Not the best coverage, but we're still able to pull off quite a bit of things here. Anyways, hitting me with a Shadow Ball, farming them down with the quick move here with quite a bit of energy. So when it comes to Shadow Whiscash, I love this thing. It does a lot of damage. So it looks like we do have Blizzard swapping into Tinkaton here to kind of just absorb the move, or shielding up a Thunder, going for a Heavy Slam. Again, you can go with Blizzard. We're not going to be going with the fairy, of course, because this is going to be a poison type. We're going to go ahead and just let this go. Let them take us out so we can just farm them down here. Farming them down with Fairy Wind, not very effective, gaining quite a bit of energy. Going for the brutal swing with the Galarian Weezing here. Now, I do have a Shadow. Not only do I have a Shadow, but I have a shiny Shadow Galarian Weezing with Frustration removed. Yeah, you better freaking believe it. But I did power it up for the Ultra League. So yeah, there is that. Cost me quite a bit of pretty pennies, that's for sure. Back in here with the Galarian Weezing, letting that Thunder go. And we're getting a little close here. They have no more shields. This is pretty much a wrap. Taking out the Ferrothorn and taking the win. Moving it on to the next one. Folks, if you haven't hit that like button, make sure you hit that. Make sure you hit that like button. It really does help me out. Met with a Cradily here. They want to retreat because, well, everything that they're going to throw at me is going to be resisted. Bringing in Ferrothorn, which is actually kind of screwing us over here. Now, we could go with Bulldoze. If we had Bulldoze, we would be able to do a little bit more damage, but we're not running that. So we're going to go ahead and swap into the Galarian Weezing. While we are taking a lot of damage from that Mirror Shot, as it is going to be super effective. It's quite a weak move, so we don't have to worry about too much, so we're kind of okay here. They did shield it up, so not looking the best. I'm going to go ahead and use a shield ourselves here. I think we're actually shieldless at this point, going for another overheat. They let it go, one shot. Oh no, we got one shield left, okay. Quagsire. Well, they're going to be able to farm us down and build up that energy quite a bit, which is going to leave us very screwed, okay? So we're obviously going to bring in the Whiscash here, and we'll go ahead and let that Mud Bomb go. Taking a lot of damage, and this is going to actually, of course, get stabbed while doing shadow damage, so doing quite a bit with that. Shadow Whiscash really putting in that work for me here. So bringing in the Tinkaton, going for the, what is that move? Play Rough, taking him out, okay? We have a Cradily, which would have been weak to steel, so they back out because we did have a shield, and you can farm up very quick with the Fairy Wind. Next game, we're met with an Alolan Ninetales. This is an absolutely phenomenal lead. They're going to be swapping into Jellicent, which is not, I'm going to be honest, it's not the best thing for my team here, and I really don't have a great answer for it. So we're just going to go ahead and bring in the Whiscash. Now, I could have bring in the Galarian Weezing and, you know, just keep on spamming them with the brutal swing. But for whatever reason, I bring in the Whiscash, so we're just going to have to deal with the situation that we are stuck with here, so that is what it is. When it comes to Galarian Weezing, though, the overheat really does give you quite a bit of coverage while getting to it pretty fast with the Fairy Wind, right? Alright, so down we go. In comes the Galarian Weezing, hitting me with a bubble. Okay, so we're stuck with two Fairy-type Pokemon. Let's see how this works out here. Alright, so Galarian Weezing, what an absolute phenomenal Pokemon here. This thing really does throw it down. So taking out the Jellicent, frantically tapping on the Tinkaton here, as we do have the Cradily, one of my favorite Pokemon. Gonna go ahead and go for the Heavy Slam, super effective because they are Rock type, and they're gonna go ahead and back out, and we take that win, and we're looking good. Let's keep it going. Next battle. So this is Mawile's cousin. You do know this, right? This is, you know, Mawile's cousin. You know, Steel and Fairy, you know, the kind of both like the similar typing here. Well, not similar, they're the exact typing, but that's the way I look at it. I love this thing. I don't know. It's just a great Pokemon. Anyways, gonna go ahead and go for the Play Rough up against the Arachnoid. Bringing in the Galarian Weezing here. See what they're gonna do. Hitting me with a Water Pulse and swapping into a Gastrodon, which is leaving me completely screwed. So yes, this team does have vulnerabilities. So yeah, we're gonna be weak to ground, but whatever. Just have a little fun with it, right? Anyways, bringing in the Whiscash here. We're gonna go ahead and shield this Earth Power up. Calling it very good. You know, Body Slam, yeah, it's not getting stabbed or nothing, but it still will do a decent amount of damage. We are going to be Shadow, so we're still taking a good amount of damage here. Using Bolt Shields, I wanted to farm them down, but we're not going to risk it. I do believe they would have been able to. Yep, see, exactly. They still got to a charge move. All right. Body Slam, not enough. Swapping into our Tinkaton here up against the Galarian Weezing, going for a super effective Heavy Slam. Now, if we had, what is it, Bulldoze, right? Bulldoze, yeah, I'm pretty sure. This is still going to be better because it is getting stabbed and it's super effective. Taking out the Galarian Weezing, taking out their other Pokemon, and then they back out. Thank you for watching and take care.
I finally did it. I'm the champion of the Pokemon League. Hurry up and come. Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!